What's up, guys? We are back with our next week in our series, God is King, I Am a Disciple. And so, our next big truth in our series, we look at what it means that as disciples, as Jesus followers, we endure. We endure. And so, a lot of times when we talk about endurance, the first thing that kind of comes to mind, at least for me, is sports like running or swimming. So, I swam in high school. And you really have two different types of races. You've got your short races where you go. You give everything you've got. You go as fast as you can until the end. And your only goal is to be faster than the person that's next to you or than the other people in the race. But then on the other hand, you also have your distance races. And so those are a little different. You have to approach them a little different. And if you run or do any sort of sport, you kind of know where I'm going with this. But with your distance races, you can't just go all out. Because once you get 10-15% of the way in to the race, you'll just die. You will have worked yourself too hard. You won't be able to make it to the end. You will not be able to endure. There's no way you'll win the race that way. There's even a fable that they tell children of the tortoise and the hare. Slow and steady wins the race because the hare just goes as fast as he can, and then he has to take a nap and he's asleep when the tortoise finally crosses the finish line. So this is a lesson that we are taught from a very young age, is the importance of endurance. The importance of endurance. You have to learn to pace yourself, to make sure that you're playing the long game and not just sprinting for the short term. So a lot of times when we talk about endurance, that is kind of what we think about. And that is true. That's a true picture, a good example of what endurance really is. But when we talk about what it means for the Christian life, for the Jesus follower to endure, we need to do more than just pace ourselves for the long journey ahead. So that's what I want to talk about this week. There's a Desiring God article that I really like that's been helpful to me, and it defines endurance as determination to keep moving toward a desired goal despite external challenges and internal weariness. That's determination to keep moving toward a desired goal despite external challenges and internal weariness. So we are determined. One of the first things I know about this is that's important. It's active. It's not just a passive, oh, I'll just wait until it gets easier. I'll just hold on until this trial passes. But it's an active determination, a resolve to something, a commitment to something. We are determined to move forward. And what is our desired goal? Well, as disciples, our desired goal is to follow Jesus. To follow Jesus. And so when we endure, we are determined to follow Jesus, despite our external challenges and our internal weariness. So external challenges, this might be hardship or persecution, or our friends might leave or abandon us or not want to be our friends anymore when we're following Jesus. We might lose people that we love. We might battle physical sickness. We might find ourselves in a really tough environment or culture. We might find ourselves in the middle of a global pandemic or a war or any type of challenge that comes from our circumstances. We endure despite those things. And then on the other hand, we endure despite our internal weariness. And so this might be through really hard times of depression or through anxiety. We press on through those things. Sometimes that just means that we press on, we continue the fight when life just feels really long. And when the days feel long and everything we do just seems mundane, like we're doing the same thing over and over again, and it feels like we're not making any progress. That's internal weariness, and we endure through those things. We press on to follow Jesus. So we see an example of this in the life of Jeremiah. Jeremiah was a prophet, so God speaks to his people through Jeremiah, and he was given a really hard task, a really hard assignment. He preaches for more than 40 years, and in all of that time of preaching faithfully, we think there may have been 2 people who came to know God because of Jeremiah in that time. His message was not well received. He experienced a lot of persecution and hardship. His hometown plotted against him. Jeremiah understood both external circumstances and internal weariness. And yet he endured. We see Jeremiah 20, verse 9. It says, "If I say, I will not mention him or speak any more in his name, there is in my heart as if it were a burning fire shut up in my bones. I am weary with holding it in, and I cannot." The message that God had given to Jeremiah would not stay inside. He endured intense pain when he tried to not speak. It was like his bones were on fire. He couldn't help but share the good news that God had given him. And so for us as Jesus followers, we endure. We press on through external challenges, through hardship, through internal weariness. But one thing that I don't want you to miss is our third big idea. It's super important, and this is that as Jesus followers, the Holy Spirit helps us endure till the end. The Holy Spirit helps us endure till the end. And so as believers, Jesus has purchased our eternity. He has purchased our endurance at the cross. And so in all of that, it is not just up to us. It is not just up to you to pull up your bootstraps and to try harder tomorrow. To just keep going, to do it, to muster up the power within yourself to keep going. But just to rest in the Holy Spirit, the gift that God has given his people to help us to endure till the end. So this week, as you are working through your workout, that's one of the things I want you to pray for. And spend several minutes just asking the Lord to help you trust in the Holy Spirit, to help you endure through the Holy Spirit. But also to consider some things. So consider, what does it mean to endure? What might that look like in your life right now, this week? What are the things that stand in your way? What help do you need? Ask God to give you those things, to help you believe and rely on the Holy Spirit this week, maybe in a way that you never have before. And then lastly, this week, ask someone to help you. Ask someone to help you in your striving for endurance, in your pursuit of endurance this week. Your parents, your small group leaders, maybe a friend in your small group. God has given us the church. He's given us the Holy Spirit. He's given us the church so that we would not endure alone. And so as you're working through your workout, consider those things, pray those things, but then actually put them into practice in your life as we as Jesus followers seek to endure, to be disciples who last for the kingdom. And on that note, I love you guys, and I hope you have a great week.